Welcome to the XFO Intelligence podcast. In this third episode of our series, The Artifacts of Wealth, we're turning our focus from a single object to an entire system, a blueprint. In the annals of wealth creation, few names resonate with such mystery and power as Rothschild. Their story, wow, it's a journey from the cramped Judengasse of 18th century Frankfurt all the way to the pinnacle of European finance. And it represents, well, more than just extraordinary wealth. It reveals a sophisticated blueprint for creating, preserving, and, multiplying capital across generations. So for our Artifacts of Wealth series, we're going to examine not just their financial achievements, but really the underlying principles, the things that made theirs the most enduring wealth dynasty in modern history. The Rothschild story begins not with gold, but with relationships. Mayer Amschel Rothschild, born in 1744, he started as a dealer in rare coins, but his genius lay in recognizing that serving the wealthy was actually more profitable than being wealthy. So for 4 years, he systematically cultivated Prince William of Hesse, selling him coins at bargain prices just to build that relationship capital. And this patient strategy, it yielded extraordinary returns when he finally gained William as a banking client. Mayer Amschel's most revolutionary insight, though, was that family could become the ultimate competitive advantage. His will, it established these really clear principles. Businesses would be run by male descendants, and this is the most controversial part, the family would intermarry to prevent wealth dispersion. This created what we might call the first family office, built on, absolute trust and a shared purpose. The true Rothschild innovation, though, it emerged through Mayer Amschel's 5 sons. He strategically positioned them across Europe's financial centers. You had Amschel, who remained in Frankfurt. Solomon established himself in Vienna. Nathan, he completely revolutionized London's financial scene. Karl built operations in Naples. And James, he just dominated Parisian finance. This geographic distribution, it created history's first multinational banking network. And during the Napoleonic Wars, this structure proved invaluable. Their private communication network, we're talking couriers, coded messages, trusted agents, it often provided critical information before governments even received it. The famous story of Nathan knowing about Waterloo before the British government, it's likely exaggerated, sure, but it captures their essential advantage, superior information velocity. And what made this system so revolutionary was its resilience, leaning in. When one market suffered a depression, others might boom. This geographic and political diversification created what we might call the first anti-fragile wealth structure, one that could actually gain from volatility rather than just survive it. This leads to another core tenet of their philosophy, the crisis capital principle. Family correspondence reveals their guiding philosophy: buy when blood runs in the streets, even if it's your own. Now, this wasn't just, mere opportunism. It was a sophisticated understanding of market psychology and liquidity premiums. During the 1848 revolutions that swept Europe, while most investors were liquidating assets at any price, the Rothschilds, they used their network to coordinate strategic purchases. They acquired distressed Austrian infrastructure, government bonds, all at fire sale prices, and these positions would go on to generate extraordinary returns during the recovery. Their mastery of crisis investing, it really stemmed from 2 things: maintaining huge liquidity reserves and the courage to deploy them when fear paralyzed everyone else. In 1825, for instance, Nathan Rothschild's ability to supply enough coin to literally save the Bank of England from a liquidity crisis, that demonstrated their growing power as liquidity providers of last resort, a role that's traditionally reserved for sovereign entities. If you are finding this analysis of strategic wealth principles valuable, we'd encourage you to share this episode with a colleague or a trusted advisor. The lessons from history are always most powerful when they inform the strategies of today. Beyond their financial operations, the Rothschilds built what might be, I'd say, the 19th century's most sophisticated intelligence network. This information arbitrage, it extended beyond markets into politics. By cultivating sources inside European governments, they gained insight into policy developments. This allowed them to position their investments way ahead of major political events and manage risks that blinded their competitors. Yet the Rothschilds understood that enduring wealth required more than just financial capital. They systematically built what became known as le goût Rothschild, the Rothschild taste. It was a sophisticated integration into European culture through art, architecture, and philanthropy. Their acquisition of prestigious properties like Waterloo Manor and various chateaux, it served multiple purposes. They were tangible stores of value, sure, but also demonstrations of cultural sophistication that opened social doors. And they were strategic basis for entertaining powerful contacts. Their legendary wine estates, like Chateau Mouton Rothschild, created enduring commercial value from their social prominence. And their philanthropy built crucial social capital. When Lionel de Rothschild became the first practicing Jew to sit in the British Parliament, it really demonstrated how financial influence could translate into social progress. The Rothschild blueprint, it offers surprising relevance for today's wealth builders. Their geographic diversification, that finds its modern equivalent in global portfolio allocation. Their information advantage mirrors today's pursuit of alternative data. Their crisis capital strategy aligns perfectly with modern distressed debt funds. But their most enduring insight was recognizing that true wealth, it encompasses multiple dimensions. Financial capital, certainly, but also human capital, social capital, and cultural capital. This sort of holistic approach allowed them to build not just a fortune, but a legacy. The physical artifacts of Rothschild wealth, their historic ledgers, art collections, wine estates, they tell this deeper story about their philosophy. These weren't just displays of wealth, they were strategic tools. Perhaps the most telling artifact is the family's original red shield, Rothschild, from which they got their name. It symbolizes not just their humble beginnings, but the protective structure they built around their wealth, a structure so resilient it has endured for over 2 centuries. The Rothschild story demonstrates that enduring wealth, it doesn't stem from individual transactions. It comes from systematic approaches. Their ability to adapt across 2 centuries of dramatic transformation offers, perhaps the most valuable lesson of all. Resilience requires evolution, but within consistent principles. It reveals that the ultimate artifact of wealth isn't any single possession. It's a living system, one capable of growing and preserving value across generations. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. In today's interconnected world, what is the modern equivalent of the Rothschilds' private courier network? What is the ultimate source of information arbitrage now? And how can it be harnessed to build a truly resilient, multi-generational enterprise? Thank you for joining us on the XFO Intelligence podcast. To ensure you don't miss future episodes in this series, please subscribe to our channel. And if you found today's discussion valuable, we would really appreciate it if you would like and share it within your network.